Last episode, I planted over 15,000 wheat to create a mega wheat field, built a tractor and harvester combo which harvests that field every few days, and I built a great big barn, which is empty. And today we're going to unempty that barn by jamming it full of farms, because we have a lot of stuff we need to produce. And I'll warn you now, these animals are not going to have a good day. But the start of their day is going to be wonderful. We need more babies. So if we come over to our farmhouse and have a little look at the farms boards, this is the side we're going to be working on today. Not so much the honey. We're definitely going to be focusing on the beef, the pork, the chicken, and the mutton, as well, of course, as the milk, the ham, the eggs, the wool, and, yeah, anything else we might happen to get from these feathers, I guess. I guess we'll have feathers too. But basically, anything that comes from the main farm animals, that's what we're going to be trying to get hold of today. And once we've got all those farms in, we're going to be one step closer to actually producing all the food over in our sort of restaurant-y town type area, which is going to be over there. And for the first farm, I think we'll start with a nice simple one. We'll do a wool farm, probably just in this section over here, I think. So let's go get some building materials and see what we can rustle up. And while we gather some building materials, it's talking time.
No, I'm not. Oh, very well.
We've just reached episode 50 in this world, which is absolutely mad, and I'm so grateful for everyone that's been supporting this series so far. You have quite literally changed my life, so thank you. And to repay that thanks, I'll once again be releasing a world download at the end of this episode, which will be available to all patrons and YouTube members of any level, so you can run around and explore things yourself. In regards to future plans for the channel, who knows? We are building what will likely be the final district in this world at the moment, as a lot of my early farms are not very lag friendly. I didn't know Create so well back then, and the server is beginning to struggle ever so slightly. So by the time we get this district done, it may well just push it over the edge. That being said, don't panic. The day this world ends, a brand new world for Season 2 will be starting up immediately after, hopefully without a blip in the schedule, which will involve some alterations to the pack, some new mods, some removed, and so on. But I'm not going to say too much just yet. That's months away. That being said, if there are any other mods you want me to look at for Season 2, do let me know in the comments. I have a couple of months to make this pack, and I want to make it an even more perfect world to play on. And I've learned a lot from this pack, what to do, what not to do, and so on. So hopefully we can hit the ground running with Perfect World 2. And then outside the main series, you can expect to see more mini-series, either solo or with others, maybe even some one-off videos testing out some other mod packs with Mrs. B, such as Pixelmon, Vault Hunters, and so on. But let me know what you want to see. Anyway, I think I now have what I need to make this animal paradise. It's just a nice thing to call it, but I think we all know what's coming. So let's head back and crack on. So for gathering wool, I do have a plan, and the first thing I'm going to do is just section off a little bit. About this sort of size should be fine. And I know normally for a wool farm, what you'd do is you'd put all the sheep in their individual little pens, you'd have shears, dispensers and whatnot, but we've got Create, so why would we do that? I've got a much better idea. Probably less efficient, but it's going to be a lot more fun. So first off, let's just stick up a wall here. I want to completely separate this area, and we'll stick a fence up the fronts. That should be big enough. And here is my plan. So if you imagine these are all the sheep, they're just milling around, one in each colour, so we'll have 16 sheep in here. If we were to have deployers at that level there, and they were holding shears, then they'd be shearing the sheep as they munch. But of course, I don't want to cover the whole ceiling in deployers, so I think what we're going to do is just stick in a line across the back here. Let's quickly get that in. In fact, I should probably actually pull that forward by a row. So I guess we're going to need to put a wall at the back here as well, which is going to make the pen a little bit smaller, but it'll still be absolutely fine. And what we're going to want this to do is to basically go backwards and forwards shearing the sheep. To make that happen, we're going to use a gantry, and we'll stick a gantry carriage there. So what we're also going to need on here is, of course, an unloading system, and I think we can probably jam that at the back here. So if we were to do that, and that, and we'll get that hooked up to the drawer system later, but we're also going to need some storage up here to, well, to store the wool temporarily before it gets offloaded, but also to hold lots and lots of shears for these guys. And then we can just block up the rest of this wall, I think. So in theory, that should all work, but now we need to figure out power for this thing. We'll extend the gantry, we'll put the gearbox in, and now I'm going to sit here and fiddle around with the power for a while, and it's probably going to be quite boring to watch. So I'll bring you back in once this system's looking a little bit better, but at least the core of the system's done, because once we do have all of this powered and this connected up to the storage thing, we should just be able to send this backwards and forwards, really, shearing all of our sheep. But I guess we'll find that out in just a moment. So I think I've got it all working. I've just used these redstone contacts here, and then I've got a pulse repeater above this block, and that basically just times it so every 30 seconds it will set off this thing, which is the sequenced gear shift. And that should fire, yep, there we go, that's just fired. So that's now going to go all the way to the front here, wait for a moment, and then it's going to go all the way back, and it'll do that every 30 seconds or so. I've also loaded up these barrels with shears. All of the deployers are set with shears, although, yeah, it's sort of, they disappear when it moves, which is a bit weird, but at least it works. So what I need to do now is make this good for sheep, which which means getting rid of all this coarse dirt for a start. So that's that layer gone. But I'm also going to remove the layer below because there's a small trick we can do with grass to make it grow a little bit quicker. Because we want to make sure that the sheep have always got plenty of grass over here to munch on. What we're going to do, as well as putting grass at this level, of course, for the sheep to actually eat, I'm also going to put it on a lower level just here. So if we fill all of this up and then fill up the top layer, what will happen is the grass will actually sort of jump this air gap, and it should, hopefully, keep the grass up here fully grown as well, or at least give it more opportunities to spread, I should say. But I've also got it under the fence here, which the sheep can't actually eat, so it'll always grow out from this side. And let's just mess this up a little bit just to make it look a bit more interesting. There we go. Now let's go get ourselves some sheep. And we'll only take a few from out here. I do want to leave some roaming around in the fields, so let's just grab 5 or 6. In fact, there's not as many as I thought. Let's just take the 4 for now. We'll drag all of these into their lovely new home. And, oh, look at this. Are they going to get sheared? Yes, they are. Look at that. Ha! Wonderful, it works. And I also want to make sure the sheep have got some light in here, so let's sort out their pen a little bit. Once again, this is going to help the grass grow. Let's just sort out our brightness settings quickly so we can actually see how bright it is in here. Well, not very, I'd say. There we go, that should do to give them a little bit of light. Although thinking about it, I should probably have somewhere for that wool to actually go, because I think all these drawers are locked at the moment. Yes, they are. So we're only doing white and grey currently, so let's get those coming in. And I need to breed these sheep, because we actually need 16 in here, and there's only 4 currently. And then we're going to need to dye them all of the different colours, but we can do that later. For now, I think I want to make this place look a little bit more barn-like. So we're going to mess up the walls a little bit and just, well, generally make it look a little bit more fitting, I think. We're not far off. And I think with that, we're just about done. I've added a bit more lighting, some hay bales, and a few bushes and things like that. But I've also got 16 sheep, and we have all of the different colours now. Wait a minute, we've got 2 cyan. And no light blue. Or is that a cyan and that a light blue and they just look really similar? I think they are actually different, but what we need to do is get this turned back on. So let me find a shaft. There's one. And if we push this button, there we go. It should set the machine off. And that should shear them all. Look at it go. Well, it has missed a couple that seem to have dodged out the way somehow. But this thing is set to fire every 10 seconds now, so on the very next run, it's caught the pink one anyway. This is good. I just need to open up a whole bunch more of these drawers for all the extra wool. And a quick bit of reorganising. We're all good. Although I should probably put some drawer upgrades on these. So that's the first farm in. Now let's move on to the next one. And I think over in this spot here, we're going to milk some cows. The first thing we're going to do is just section off a small area here. So we've got somewhere to, well, to store the milk mainly, but also we're going to need somewhere to put lots of the sort of mechanics for the contraptions. And this area here should work just fine for that. So now we've got a nice big space here. Let's see if we can work this out. I think with this farm, we're once again going to use a gantry. So if we just put this across the back here, and I might need to move position on some of these things. I'm just kind of guessing at the moment. Stick a gantry shaft in there. And a deployer there. In the wall, we're going to need a storage interface and then somewhere to get that dropped off. For power, we'll just bring that out there and sort that out later. But now we need to do some experiments because I believe I can use this to milk the cows if we give it buckets, and we're going to need to kind of somehow cycle the buckets round, I guess. I don't really know. To be honest, we might just end up with a line of deployers, but let's see if we can get this to work. Let's just build a small cage where the cow's going to stand and go get ourselves a cow. Come on, you. You're about to have a wonderful time in a cage for the rest of your life. So that's it. You come up here. Everything's fine. In fact, if I was holding wheat, there we go. We'll get you blocked in. We're going to grab ourselves a smart chute, and we'll attach that underneath this. And I'm going to dig out this layer here. Let's stick a barrel on there as well. Super glue this little contraption together. And we'll filter for buckets of milk on that. Load this up with buckets. Make sure he's got a bucket filter set. And now let's just get some power to this thing and try it out. So that should do the trick if I press that. Well, it kind of worked. It did gather some milk, but it put it in the barrel. So maybe what we can do is just not bother with that thing at the bottom. I think we'll be okay without it. But if we hit that button again, it should milk the cow on the way past. And again on the way back. So we can then just extend this system all the way down here. And then we'll just put the smart chute down here with the milk filter on it, so it'll only actually pull the full buckets of milk out of there. That should work nicely. Although it would work better if I'd actually glued the storage interface to it, I think. There we go, we're getting the milk dropped off. Now he's moving away, he's gonna go get more milk. But what we now need to do is make sure that this thing is being reloaded with buckets. So we actually need to be emptying this milk probably into some item drains and then just cycling the buckets back round into the machine somehow. Give me a minute to work that out. And a few minutes later, I think I've got everything worked out. So we've just got a couple of item drains here, and this offloads milk when the machine pulls in. It empties them all into this storage drawer controller. That's then connected underground all the way over to this side, where we've just added another storage interface here. So when this thing is at that side, it will load up on buckets, and when it's at that side, it'll offload the milk and the buckets go back there. Fairly simple. I'm then just pumping the milk out and into these vats over here for now. I've also set up a sequenced gear shift here too, so if we press that to activate it, it now should just continually go backwards and forwards. And in the meantime, I need to sort out some cows for over here and design a better looking cage. That does not look fun. But we're definitely looking a little bit better. I think the wooden fences instead of the cages is a lot better looking, and we've got enough here for, how many was that, 7 cows? That'll be plenty. But I've also penned off the front bit here just so we can have some free roam cows just to make it look a bit nicer. And yeah, I do need to sort out the roof still. I need to sort out the ground. And of course, I need to get the cows in. So let's quickly get that sorted.
Okay, that looks sinister. Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Hello there. What are you up to here?
Milking cows.
Okay.
It's fine. Look, they're all just getting locked in their own little pens, and then the milking machine comes along, and they all get milked. Everything's fine.
The milking machine comes. You have. Oh boy. Wait, is that how this works as well? Is there a? Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah. This is the wool farm, obviously, as
I
opposed
mean,
to.
that's I would say that's very humane for being a Minecraft wool farm.
That's what I said.
I mean, you're giving them a good life here.
Yeah, I know. I mean. Don't come back later once I've done the other side of the barn. But for now,
Okay.
it's lovely.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyways, I got your message about wanting to see the progress on the village, and I
Yes.
have done some progress. So you wanna head over there?
Oh yes, I'd love to. So does that mean we're getting the bus again?
It means we're getting the bus again, Beardy. 4 minutes. That's not bad.
Oh, that's not terrible.
No, it's not terrible.
No, okay, yeah, getting flashbacks. Right, yeah, I'm not standing anywhere near there.
No, neither.
I'm just gonna stand here in silence for the next 4 minutes.
Yep. Oh, here it is.
About time.
I'll let you know when we gotta disembark on the train.
I mean, I'm a little bit concerned about the travel plans for this village. You say you are going to build a station, but currently we just have to yeet ourselves off the train.
The station is in the plans. Yes.
Right.
It's
Okay.
the next project.
Ooh, exciting. Oh,
I'm getting shot at here.
yeah. There's bandits along some parts of the track. It's fine. Just ignore the bandits.
Some parts of the tracks. That's literally next to the city.
Yes, some parts of the track next to the city also have. That was another bandit. Did you hear
Oh,
that?
that was another bandit.
Yep, that was another bandit.
It is no longer a bandit.
No. So, I mean, am I supposed to be getting ready to jump off, or?
Well, I feel I honestly I haven't taken this route yet, but I'm pretty familiar with the surroundings. I will. Oh, that was another bandit.
Yeah, more bandits. Surely we should be getting. I don't remember the village being this far away from nowhere.
Oh no, I found it this far away.
Right. That's a little bit more concerning. Okay.
I would get ready round about now.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
boy.
Okay. Oh.
Oh
Jeez.
boy. Oh,
I'm
not
stuck.
yet. I'm stuck.
Ah, I'm off. Ah,
Oh,
bandits.
Beardy. Oh no.
Ah, there's bandits. Stam, come back. Oh dear. Well, apparently Stam nailed it. Oh, I see. There's like a weird little junction.
No, I nailed
I'm
it. Beardy.
coming. I'm
I
coming.
landed right here.
You landed right there.
I was stuck for ages, and then I just got spat out here.
Yeah,
this is
I
where
got spat
found
out
it.
back there. It was not
Oh,
good.
well, this is where I traversed into the terrain to find it.
Right.
So I
okay.
parked here.
Yeah, I don't think this is the village that I discussed with the agency. But then it took them so long to send you anyway. I'm not even surprised. Ooh. Don't mind if I do. Stam, I've got a confession to make.
What?
Well, you've got
mentioned
Komodo
that
dragons around here?
Apparently.
Good to know. Right, I'm going to steer clear of that. But yeah, I do have a bit of a confession to make. I have already been here. I spied on you at the end of the previous episode or the episode before that. I had a little look.
Oh my god.
I stayed in the trees though. I stayed. So I already knew that you were building over here, and it wasn't what was in the contract, Stam. I already knew all of this, but what you were doing looked so beautiful. I just left you to it.
Okay, well, you could have told me. So it doesn't have a proper place to enter it yet, but we can just head down here to what will be a dock. It's missing
so
the water element.
I was going to say, there isn't a river.
I'm putting in the river, yes. I'm putting in a river. I mean, I'm a contractor.
Ooh.
And a river, I feel like it fits.
Yeah,
and
I like that.
This is the manor.
That is wonderful. I'm just going to get a wider field view. Let's have a look. Oh, look at that. I then spent some time hanging out with Stam as he showed me the awesome interior of his house, but I don't want to spoil it for you. So go check out his episode 1 link below if you want to check it out. For now, we've still got more cows to sort. The area for the cows is now complete, and look at that, they look very happy. We've got a few free roaming out the front, and the ones at the back are, of course, being milked, and we're collecting lots and lots of milk over here, which is good, because we're going to need a lot of that in future. I've also just tidied up this area a bit, sorted out the ceilings, and in this area here, we've just basically got a little shut-off area. We don't really need access to this, but I wanted to keep access just in case. Although I do want to block up that hole, there we go. But now we've done all the nicey bits, we need to get on to the slightly more grim side, where we actually need to harvest the meat from the sheep, the cows, the pigs, and of course, the chickens. So I guess I need to come up with a plan on how to do that. So I just came to refill the lava and water for my jetpacks, and we seem to have a slight problem over here. We've got a bit of a bee-pocalypse going on. They are literally everywhere. I mean, look at this. Oh, and they've filled out this forest as well. This is ridiculous. Oh, and it just goes on. Uh-oh. Oh, there are so many bees. No wonder the server's struggling. Oh, my days. What have I done? Look at that. Okay, I'm going to have to do something about this, but I don't really know what. I think the first thing is to turn off my diamond farm, because this is clearly where they're all coming from. And maybe if I remove all the flowers in here, it will stop spawning bees when the trees grow, because I think that the hives or the nests only happen if there's, like, flowers near the birch trees. So hopefully that will solve the problem of more bees coming, but how do we deal with these? Might have to call in some reinforcements here. This is going to take forever. Well, if it isn't the iron trout.
They call me the Iron Trout. You called? 100% success rate. I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Got a bit of a pest problem. So, obviously, my go-to for a solution was to find the biggest pest I know.
I mean, I consider myself strong, brave, noble, reliable.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, right, okay. We'll see what happens. Do you want me to show you what the problem is?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried about what it is. It could literally be anything, but,
Oh, it's a doozy. Well, basically, if you come over this way a little bit, you'll see there's a few bees around.
Bees?
Bees are the problem.
A few?
Yeah, if come this way. Keep going this way.
You said a few? I can see a few hundred?
Yeah, I don't know where it ends. Over here maybe? I think this looks like the far side.
So you want help taking out hundreds of bees?
Yes. Yeah, it seemed like the sort of thing you'd enjoy.
Oh.
Yep. And the good thing is, if you get them in one, they don't get angry. Oh, I didn't get it in one.
Oh, that's gone well, isn't it?
Oh no.
Mr. B! I keep missing!
Yeah, so...
Help! I'm trying!
I mean, the good thing is the ones that are hitting me are also dying, right? Ow! That's not what I brought you here for!
I'm not even trying to do it! Montage?
Montage.
Oh my god, there's literally like 100 bees! Mr. B, no. Oh my god!
Well then, Iron Trout, I think that's a successful mission. I have a lot of bee heads in my inventory.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
Yeah.
take these two.
Too many, some might say. Too many. In fact, how many bees did I actually kill then? Bees. I've killed 108 bees.
108 bees?
Yeah.
I have killed 86 bees and 1 creeper and 1 skeleton.
So that's almost 200. Lockdown.
There's a bee in the...
I just saw it fly past the window.
Oh!
Hopefully, that's going to help my frame rate around here a little bit. It probably won't, but...
I mean, there's a lot going on here, I'll be real.
Yeah, there is. There is. Anyway, we probably shouldn't stand in the middle of the road because...
Oh! Okay. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you need some, like, pavements around here.
Nah, it's an industrial area. I didn't bother. It's fine.
Right.
I was like, we don't need no pavements. Oh. All right, I'll consider pavements. Now, what was I supposed to be doing? Oh, yes, animal harvesting. That was it. And I think I've got a fairly simple way we can do this utilizing Create, but it's not going to be pretty. So instead of talking my way through it as I work this out, I'm going to try and build up one module, and if it works, I'll show you what it's doing. If it doesn't, then I guess it's back to square one. And I think this should work just nicely. It's very straightforward. We've basically got a whole bunch of cows on the platform there. There's actually 24 there. And that means that any more that get born instantly get kind of pushed off the platform and they drop down here. And then when they grow up, they get killed by this punching hand with a stick. And it all happens round the side here. We've just got a deployer here that's taking wheat out of the main farmhouse, which is of course coming from our wheat field. And that deployer there is constantly trying to feed the animals. In fact, I should probably give that a filter just in case. And this is the poker at the bottom that has the stick. I did actually try giving that thing a sword, but when it had a sword, when these sort of smaller ones at the bottom here grow up, it was actually damaging the top ones as well as the one here. So yeah, I just gave it a stick in the end, which does mean we're not going to get looting, but at least we're not going to kill the cows at the top. And in regards to item collection, I've just got a backpack here which has a filter to only pick up leather and raw beef, but it's also got a tank so it can pick up all the experience, which we're then pumping all the way around the top to the back of the barn, and that's all going to get stored up in these tanks here, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with that. But for now, we'll just store it. Oh, there we go. We just saw a baby get born. Look at that. Perfect. And now we know that this works, I need to make a few more. We actually need 1 for pigs here. In fact, we need 2 for pigs because we want to be able to get hams as well, which means some of the pigs we're going to be killing with a knife. But that means we'll get pork chops as well as ham. We need 1 for sheep to get mutton. We need 1 for chicken so that we can get, well, chicken and feathers. And then we also need another chicken coop just for collecting eggs. But it's just going to be this same thing again and again pretty much. So I'm just going to time-lapse it, I think. See you in a minute. I've managed to get all the farms in, and the ones that have food are working a treat. As you can see, we've got lots of sheep there. We don't have any pigs, though, sadly, either in there or over here, because, well, I'm not actually automating carrots yet. As a temporary fix, we're going to go load up the system in just a moment. But I have also had to do these chambers slightly differently. Because the pigs are only 1 block high, I've actually stuck a trapdoor on the inside there as well, and that means the adults can't get out, but the babies can. And I've also had to stand them on a slab here and block them from going on top of the fence here. And this just means that when they're standing on the slab, they're babies, they won't get hit, but as soon as they grow up, the knife will take them down and we'll get ham. And this one's exactly the same, but once again, it has a stick, and this will get us the pork chops. I then have a pretty standard chicken machine over here. The chickens are over there on hoppers. When they lay eggs, they go into a dispenser, which gets shot into this slab here. And basically, as you can see there, when the chickens grow up, that's when they die, because they suffocate in this block here. And that, of course, gets us chicken and feathers. And then lastly, I just have a small coop here, and this is where we're getting all of our eggs from. If we look around the back, I've actually got 2 of these systems here, because this bag is big enough to pick up from both sides, and this one does both of the pigs. And when it comes to the chickens, I've just got this one for collecting the eggs over there, and the chicken from over there. And overall, it's working quite nicely. And this thing's only been running for a few hours, but we've already got way too much experience, so yeah, we're gonna have to do something with that as well. But we'll figure out what to do with the XP later. For now, I need to fill up some drawers with some carrots. No. Dang it! How did you get here? Don't tell me that's one of my scarecrows. It is! Oh, that's terrifying. Nope, you, sir, can go right back outside. I really don't need those kind of jump scares in my life. Jeez. I can only assume that was Stam. Anyway, so we're just going to load this up with a whole bunch of carrots. I'm sure 18,000 will keep the pigs busy for a while. But as for the rest of the meat, we're not doing too bad. We've got 430 chicken, 850 mutton. Wow, we've got a lot of beef. Not sure we need quite that much beef. But we've also got loads of leather and eggs and so on as well. So yeah, hopefully once the pigs start getting their carrots, that's going to catch up too. And in fact, while I'm here, I'm just going to spam all of these with many, many storage upgrades. So with that done, I guess the last thing we need is a magical transition to the barn being completed. It happened behind me, didn't it? But I guess the good news is at least the barn's done. And what a fancy transition that was too. But I've basically just messed up the floors a little bit in here. I've added lots of clutter and stuff because, well, it is a barn after all. Stuff's going to be stored in here. But there's nothing too exciting, just a few bits of dirt and grass and a few bits of wood here and there. And what I've also done is sorted out the upstairs. In fact, I've even put some stairs in. But up here, once again, we've got a bit more storage and the hayloft is looking nice and full over this side. I think that's looking pretty good. And it looks a bit better from outside now as well because we can see all the hay rammed up there. And the last thing I was going to do was just make an absolute buttload of glass bottles and just convert this into bottles of enchanting. But I seem to have misplaced my Create backpack. I normally always have a second backpack in my inventory here, and it's just not there. I've gone looking for it, and no, it's gone. Which is very annoying, because that has literally all of my Create items in it. So yeah, I think we're going to need to make a new one of those. But sadly, we're going to have to save that for another episode, because we're out of time here. And don't forget, the world download will be available for YouTube members and patrons at the end of this episode. And if you are enjoying the series, please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.